welcome to a special edition today of Staggs in the Wild. This is going to be something really different, really unique. You know, a lot of times we do stuff on gear reviews and hunting footage and all this. We're going to bring it inside today from kind of the end of the cycle, if you will. You know, you get to see us prepare to hunt. You get to see us hunt. What happens at the end of the hunt? Well, I've got my wife Alison here today to kind of show what she does, and she's awesome because we provide a lot of meat. You know, we're kind of well known that we haven't had to buy red meat from the store in 25 years almost. Wow. And we were fortunate enough to be featured on NBC's America Now with Leslie Gibbons, and that was kind of a cool honor. But this is the reason, this is the one who makes it happen. So she cooks up all that meat that we bring in, and this is a special show. She's going to show you a little bit about what she does and some of our favorite recipes to kick it off. So here we go.
Yep. Hello everybody. So my name is Alison, and I was not raised in a hunting family. Nobody in my family hunted or anything like that. So when we got married and Greg, you know, was very passionate about deer hunting, I had to have a really steep and quick learning curve about how to cook wild game, and especially venison. And over the years, you know, pretty periodically I get questions from probably many of some people like you all, your wives or girlfriends, or maybe even some of you guys I know do a lot of cooking too, that have asked questions about what I do and tips to prepare, especially venison, but we're also going to do a little bit of wild turkey, a little special wild turkey recipe that we really love in our family that I want to highlight today too. But so just a couple quick tips. The number one concern, complaint, whatever you want to call that I get from people is, you know, what do you do about the gamey taste for venison meat or wild game in general? We don't have a big problem with that. Most of the deer that the guys get is Illinois deer, which is much more corn-fed, so very much like a free-range cow, basically. So it tastes very much like beef, it's just leaner and healthier. But we do get, the boys, especially Matthew and Gabriel, do shoot some and kill some in Missouri, which is a more acorn-based diet, so they can have a little bit more of an acidic or a little more of a gamey taste. So a couple of things. I mean, hamburger meat, which, you know, it's venison burger, whatever you want to say, ground venison, is the most common, and that's the easiest. I use it for everything. I know you all know how to do tacos and spaghetti and chili and hamburgers and all that kind of stuff like that. The two things that I would suggest if you really want to work on increasing or enhancing the flavor, if you or someone in your family doesn't like the flavor, is do some add-ins. So we use a lot, sometimes especially with burgers, we might use, or meatloaf, we might use French onion soup mix and just mix that in. And then also, I don't know if you all heard this summer, but the president of the Goya company did a great talk at the Republican National Convention. He's a huge Trump supporter, and he talked about this. I had never really heard of Goya. I'd heard of Goya beans, but I hadn't heard of these seasoning packets, so I went out to support them and their great company and wonderful legal immigrant family. A legal immigrant family. So this has been really, really good, and I've used this several times, and the boys haven't even noticed that I put this in. But it does give a little bit better of a flavor. It's specifically designed for, and it says on the package, any kind of meat, enhanced any kind of meat. So if you want to mix that in, that might be a suggestion that I would make for that. Okay, so hamburger meat's the easiest. You know, tenderloin, backstrap, you know, that's the filet mignon of venison. That's really, really simple and very good. So those kind of things are the easiest. The hardest that I probably had the hardest learning curve with is deer roast. And so I want to go over that real quick. So when you have a deer roast, the thing that I have found the best to do with that, that my family enjoys the most, is just a couple of real quick, easy recipes. First of all, I'll put a deer roast in a crock pot. Because it's a much leaner cut of meat, one thing that I learned is you have to cook it on a lot longer and lower temperature than you would if you use beef or pork that has a much higher fat content. So if you do that, it really makes it easy. But like at 10:30 last night, I put this deer roast in the crock pot. I poured an entire bottle of Italian dressing over it, put it on low, let it cook all night, and then when I got up in the morning, the kitchen smelled great, first of all. Sometimes I'll add in a little bit of extra onions and peppers if I want to, but not always. And then I'll just take that meat right off the bone. Where's my tongs here. And just take that meat. Oh, I got the wrong one. Here's the deer roast. I moved the crock pot. So I just take that meat, and it's just been cooking all night long in the Italian dressing. And then it's already ready then. We can just shred that up. It just literally falls apart when you pull it off. It just falls apart, and we'll just take that off and put that on hamburger, toast some hamburger buns, put some extra onions and peppers in there if we want to, and maybe put a slice of mozzarella or Swiss cheese on there, and then that's you're kind of like Italian, roast Italian beef, so it's just roast Italian venison for us. So that's a really easy one. A bottle of Italian dressing, a deer roast, and a crock pot for, you really can't overcook it. 8 hours probably minimum, 10 to 12 to 14 hours works fine. I'll also do that same basic process with a bottle of barbecue sauce and make kind of what we call, instead of pulled pork, ours is pulled venison. And put that on a hamburger bun or toasted bread with some pimento cheese, works perfectly. The third one that I'll do sometimes is a kind of more of a Mexican, kind of a pork carnitas kind of version. And I'll put that in the crock pot with a can of Rotel, a package of taco seasoning. Sometimes I add a little bit of extra liquid in there just to make sure it's mostly covered. It doesn't have to be submerged, but it should be mostly covered. And that really helps. So those are 3. Then you take that meat, pull it out, put it in a soft taco shell with some cheese and sour cream and salsa and wrap that up. Easy peasy. So it's a great hands-free, those are 3 great hands-free options for your deer roast that work really well for us. And of course we love to do fried turkey. That's, great. We enjoy that. But we were getting to the point, we're supposed to put this back in the microwave to do the, the display thing that's sitting out there. We had to snack before we started filming. We all got hungry. But the wild turkey is another way that some friends of ours showed us how to fix this a couple years ago. Has become a really family favorite. So we call them turkey poppers. So I'm going to have Greg just stand here for a minute and chop me up a few. I'll give you a little cutting board here. So chop me up a few peppers, and we really recommend using some kind of Ziploc bag or gloves. We've had allergic reactions where it did not go well with the turkey poppers. But you just need a few things for the turkey poppers. So you need some jalapeno peppers, and then you need, I get somewhere between 15 to 20 jalapeno peppers. So of course you cut those in half. So that makes 30 to 40 poppers. And then I get 2 packages of cream cheese and kind of let that sit out and get soft. And then I take 2 packages of powdered ranch dressing mix, and I just mix those together. So I'm just going to have Greg just chop up just a couple of those. Some people in our family can handle a lot of spice and heat. Some people in our family cannot. So we've experimented different ways with how to make it so that everybody can enjoy and eat our turkey poppers. And we really found, of course, cutting them open, taking the seeds out, and then we've really found rinsing them in water helps a lot. So we rinse them pretty well. Sometimes I even soak them. The other thing that we have found that helps control some of the heat is when we grill them. So sometimes we grill them on the gas grill. We really like our gas grill. It works great. Just turn it on, instant usage. I love that. If we're making burgers or brats, that's really handy. But we have found with turkey poppers, because we're going to wrap it in bacon here in a minute, it tends to cause a lot of flare-ups because of the bacon grease so much. And so we really have gotten away. We don't like using our gas grill for turkey poppers. We'll use our direct grill or indirect grill, but use charcoal. Or sometimes if we're in a rush or whatever, or it's too cold or the weather's yucky outside, you can just cook them on the stove on a cast iron skillet. Works fine too. So just to tell you about that. So the ingredients you need is jalapeno peppers, cream cheese, a package or 2 of powdered ranch dressing mix, and then some bacon. So my boys are, they like their meat, and typically we like thicker sliced bacon. But I have really found that this is a great purpose for thin sliced bacon. It really does work really well. Oh, I need a little bit of turkey cut up. My turkey is in the fridge, I believe. So this is one place that it's actually good to have, perfect, thank you, yeah. It's actually good to have thin bacon. So you just put a little bit of the cream cheese mixture in the pepper, and here's our turkey, and I cut up some pieces earlier. So just take a nice little, probably 2-inch long piece of wild turkey, and then just wrap it up. So just wrap it up there. And a lot of times, because the bacon is thin, it kind of sticks really well. You don't necessarily have to use a toothpick. I don't have those out, maybe I put them back up. Oh, hey, they're right here behind me. I know I got those out. But it never hurts just to kind of secure the ends just a little bit, so that while you're turning it back and forth, it does not come off. So if you want to, don't necessarily turn the cast iron skillet on, but you can set that right there real quick. Okay. So that's really, and the turkey itself cooks very quickly. So by the time the bacon is cooked, trust me, the turkey is cooked. So here's how that goes. And then Greg, you can lift up. We did a small batch that I cooked earlier, so you can kind of see what they look like. And this is a perfect mom's kind of recipe that we love, because it's pretty much an all-in-one recipe. It's got vegetable, dairy, meat, and you're done. Have a little fruit salad or something for dessert, and you've got all the food groups, and you're done. I think those are my main tips. I can't think of anything else.
I'm kind of thinking it really needs to be taste tested.
Oh, we need to demonstrate? Okay.
Yeah, demonstrate how
You
to
go
do
ahead and demonstrate away. It's good. So you want to make sure that if your significant other is going to be bringing home some wonderful meat for you, that you know how to cook it, and you can cook it well so that everybody can enjoy it. So I know I'm very thankful for Greg and the boys and how hard they work to provide for our family. It's a wonderful thing. It's a family thing, and I'm just very thankful for that.